There we go. This on, yes. That's good. So we're back to Yuko and you in the church. Yuko sighed and smiled. Despite the cold, her smile showed no sign of wavering.
ヒロノさんとここで出会ってからもう1年になるんですね。
1年間、そのひねくれたクソガキどもと付き合ってきたわけか。
Associating? What kind of word is that? Hey, Beatrice. How are you?
ここ最近はあまり会わなくなりましたよ。ヒロノさんはお仕事が忙しいし、ミヤコは受験ですから。2人とも大変そうですけどいい顔してますよ。
お前も嬉しそうだな。
あら、そうですか
She giggled pleasantly. Watching people grow up together was something to be happy about. My current self knew that well.
ま、お守りをするのは大変だっただろう。
私はあの子たちに何もしてませんよ。みんな自分の意志で道を選んで楽しく笑える毎日を手に入れたんです。これからも笑って過ごせるかはあの子たち次第ですけどね。
That was indeed a fairy tale of the boys and girls of this city. All of their thoughts and emotions interacted with each other.
そうかな。
え？
お前がいたからそいつらは今も笑っていられる。俺にはそう思えるよ。
まさか私にそんな力はありませんよ。ゆうくんってば身内びいきが過ぎますね。なんかまた甘くなったんじゃないですか？
ほっといてくれ。
I laughed and shook my head.
俺が勝手に思ってるだけさ。それにしてもヒロノとはな。
It wasn't a particularly unusual surname. However, I felt something close to a conviction. That young man called Hirono. Could it be?
ユウコ、お前は覚えていないのか？
何をですか？
いや、新藤圭っていう女の子のことは？
Yuko inclined her head in doubt.
もしかして二人とも昔の私と何か関係が？
いや、いい。
I wasn't mistaken in thinking that something was amiss.
ごめんなさい。私はいろんなものをなくしてしまってるみたいなんです。
Well, Stream Element it's caught up with us. Thank you. I thought so. I wondered if she may have really forgotten my name. Even then I wouldn't mind.
ユウコ、もう少し聞かせてくれないか？さっきの話の続きだよ。
Hey, Oddly Manifested! How's it going?
1年近く前の話なんだろ？それから今日まで何もなかったとは思えない。
The conclusion of winter wasn't the end.
そのガキどもの話は一つだけじゃないんだろ？
I knew there was still more to tell.
そうですね。
She nodded her head with a soft smile.
季節は変わり、夏になってある一つの出会いがあったんです。そこからもう一つの物語が始まりました。
Yes, let me hear more. Let me hear in your own words the tale of the people you became involved with. One more fairy tale of two people who obtained happiness. Early summer spectacle. On that day, I saw her. Her eyes were fixated on the ball she held in her hands. She looked like an intricate doll glistening in the summer sun. This was where it all began. I felt something spark within me. Damn it. Why was it that I never had my camcorder when I really needed it? I had to at least engrave this image into my mind. While putting my hands together to form a rectangular frame, I closed one eye, focusing on the girl in front of me. She dribbled twice. She lifted her hands, straightening her back as she made a pose, and took a shot. I panned the screen and chased the ball's movement. Ah. However, something went wrong. The ball rolled around the rim once, then fell to the floor. She moved her head as she followed the bouncing ball with her eyes. That was when I noticed. I'd seen her somewhere before. What was her name again?
また外れか。
She mumbled to herself. I could sense no emotion from her. For some reason, that emptiness deeply shook my heart. She turned away from the ball and looked my way.
私、これでも前はバスケ部にいて、自分で言うのもなんですけど、結構活躍していたんですよ。
I lowered my hands. So you noticed me. Am I bothering you?
いいえ別に。見られててもそうじゃなくても、私のシュートなんて入りませんから。
Well, at least you had good form. She slowly turned towards me.
失礼ですけど、見る目がないですね。
Huh?
私のシュートなんて最悪よ。
Her tone suddenly turned bitter.
本当に綺麗なフォームで打てば絶対に外れない。ましてディフェンスもついてない状態ならね。ちょっと前までの私なら絶対に外さなかったわ。今は無様なものよ。
I guess I really don't know what I'm talking about. Why did I think she was doll-like before? She felt so human. She gave off a somewhat desperate impression.
そろそろ行きます。すぐに部活の人たちが来ますから。
Her tone returned to normal, as if nothing had even happened. Oh, then I should probably go too.
ええ。ここにいたら叩き出されますよ。バスケ部もバレー部も気の荒い人が多いですから。
Alright, that's scary.
それでは失礼します。
A flawless, polite farewell. Hey. I called out to her as she was walking away.
はい?
I signaled for her to stay put. Just watch. I picked up the ball and stood next to her. After taking careful aim, I shot. The ball spun in circles around the rim. Swish, in it went. Yeah. How do you like that?
最悪ですね。
She spoke without a glimmer of satisfaction.
でも、
After some hesitation, she raised a hand.
ナイスシュート。
A slight smile rose to her face. Thanks. I grinned and gave her a high five. I'm so excited. I love their energy. I like them together. Let's go. A nice sound. In that instant, I remembered something. It was about my friend who stopped coming to school at the end of last year. Right before he left, he high-fived me just like this. I see, so she's his... She didn't hear me. She was busy staring intently at the palm of her hand. However, she immediately looked up afterwards.
それでは、今度こそ。失礼します。
Oh, okay. As I saw her exit through the door of the gym, I clenched my fists. To that friend of mine who left school, she was something like a younger sister. To other people, she was the freshman who became the star of the basketball team but quit before the start of her second year. Oh, I remember now. Kei Shindo, wasn't it? That was her name. In the blistering heat of summer, my first encounter with Kei Shindo ended just like that. like a flower blooming in the night sky. Ooh, I like it. Light shone into my eyes as I woke up. It was nothing to be proud of, but I had always been a deep sleeper. In addition, I never woke up with any problems. I guess insomnia wasn't in my vocabulary. After nimbly sitting up, I got out of bed. I quickly got changed and packed my things. Of course, I didn't forget my beloved camcorder. I slipped that into my bag as well. Alright, good to go. I opened the door and stepped into the hallway. Dad still isn't home yet. He's probably screwing around somewhere again. My dad was a journalist and often wrote about shady things. He didn't come home very often. There's never been anyone to say welcome back when I got home from school each day. It had been like this for several years. It would be different if I was still a kid, but right now I was probably better off with him not being home. I ran down the stairs. Jesus, it's hot. I ate a light breakfast and stepped outside. I heard cicada cries as the sun's rays threatened to blind me. Ah, it was already early summer. My favorite time of the year. School was still a pain in the ass, but at least my love of summer made it bearable. I'm off. I shouted into the empty hallway and started walking. I walked along quickly while saying hello to friends and acquaintances. It's not like I was in a hurry, I just didn't feel like talking with friends today. I wanted to enjoy that brisk morning alone. As I walked while humming to myself, oh, isn't that... Coming up ahead of me was a girl who was slightly shorter than the girls around her. She appeared to be walking a little awkwardly. That was definitely the former basketball star, Kei Shindo.
またあんたはそういうデタラメを言う。私だってそうそう何度も騙されないわよ。
She was smiling happily while talking to her friends. The girls alongside her seemed very happy as well. Talking with her must have been great. She was popular after all. I stopped, then reached into my bag. I took out my camcorder and aimed it at her. Ooh. Her figure appeared in the viewfinder. Isn't this a little bit stalkerish? She doesn't know you're filming her or photographing her. I immediately put it back down and cocked my head. There's something wrong. Fourth period ended and the class quickly became noisy. Phew! I put my head on top of my opened notebook. Senior classes were difficult. I was already drained, but it was only June. It was hell.
つっつーん。おーい、つっつんってば。
What kind of nickname is that?
なるほど。まずはどの秘密からばらしてほしいのかな。ちなみに、私のおすすめは。
What do you want, Miyamura-san? I looked up and faced the menace.
最初からハキハキ返事をしてくれると私は嬉しいな。
Man, their summer uniforms are so cute too. Oh my god. Those sleeves. I am in love. Sorry. Whoever decided what class we would be in this year, I hate you. How many times had I grumbled that same complaint these past 3 months? For some twisted reason, Miyako Miyamura and I ended up in the same class this year, something I dreaded. If it were only that, I would have been fine. You know, I've got 2 requests.
Hoi?
Could you not call me Tsun-Tsun? It was kind of childish and I really hated it.
でもさ、
Sleeves, yeah.
堤京介でしょ。つっつん以外にあだ名のつけようがないじゃん。
Just call him by his name. It's not like you're shortening it much or something. Why do I even need a nickname in the first place? I thought she'd finally remember my name since we were in the same class, but she gave me a weird nickname instead.
それで、2つ目のお願いって何？
What about my first one?
悲しいけれど、叶わない願いもあるのだよ。
What the hell was she smiling for? I have a feeling I'll just be wasting my breath.
まあ、物は試しって言うし。
Cut it out with the blackmail. I'm getting tired of that crap.
私はいつバラしてもいいよ。それも面白そうだし。
Someone just kill me. This seriously sucked. I racked up quite a few bad deeds during my first 2 years. She had enough dirt on me to get me expelled 5 times over if word got out. So how did someone I rarely talk to know such top secret information?
せっかく教えてもらったんだし、快適な学園生活のために有効活用しないとね。
Hero blabbed. That's the answer. The explanation was simple. Her boyfriend was my best friend. That guy who stopped coming to school leaked all of my secrets to her. He probably didn't do it on purpose, but I was still in deep shit. I ought to strangle his sorry ass.
とりあえず、ツッツンのお願いは分かったよ。
But you're not agreeing with them, are you?
学食行って飲み物買ってきて。パックのウーロンがいいな。もちろん言ってくれるよね。
I'm not your errand boy. Seriously, what the hell do you take me for?
1年の時の学園祭でたまたま一人で遊びに来てた付属の女の子を部室に連れて行って。
Hey, why that of all things?
行くよね。
Yes, ma'am. Of course, I couldn't refuse.
いつとはべからぬ中にも岸方行く先書き暮らし。
A clear voice reverberated throughout the quiet classroom. Listening to her monotonous reading on a full stomach made me sleepy.
つれづれと杉西方の思うたまえ。イデラルルにつけてもコリ妻の裏の見る夢の床敷を。塩薬甘やいかが思わん。さまざま書き尽くしたもうことの葉、思いやるべし。
Miyako was pretty cute when she was normal like this. Well, I was interested in another girl, so whatever. Right now, the one I was interested in was none other than Kei Shindo. Well, at least we have someone who's honest with themselves and understands what's happening when he catches feelings and is not a clueless, dense, poor little bastard. It was a bit of a stretch to call myself an acquaintance of hers, but I would work on that.
さま変わりたる心地するも意味時期に、さらぬ鏡とのたまえし面影の、下に身に添いたまえるもかいなし。
I don't understand a single thing of what she's reading. This place was always pretty boring. I couldn't let such interesting material like her go to waste. Of course, she was cute. One could say she had a better figure than the girls the film club usually had in their videos. But it's not just that. No matter how beautiful a face, it was all pointless if it couldn't be captured. In that case, the image of her standing alone in the gym passed with flying colors. Her eyes glistened. Ah, the music. Her eyes glistened as they looked somewhere far off in the distance. It was a scene that felt like a painting. Capturing it on film was easier said than done. In order to get it for sure this time. Oh, there she goes. Huh? That was strange. She was always with her friends when she came out of class, so why was she alone today? Well, might as well follow her like I usually do. That sounds a little bit stalkerish again. She always walked pretty slowly, as if confirming her every step. Suddenly her figure disappeared around the corner. She left school and went straight home like this every day. If this keeps up, I'll never get a good picture no matter how long I wait. Mumbling to myself, I turned the corner and... Whoa! Something grazed my face with tremendous force. What the hell? If I hadn't taken one step back, it would have been a direct hit.
外したか。
She caught on. Oh, were my eyes playing tricks on me? Bag in hand, Kei Shindo stood in front of the stairs with something like an aura surrounding her. Oh shit. I felt a shiver creep up my spine. I see. This was fear.
さてと。
She swung her school bag around.
今日でちょうど1週間。こんなにしつこくつけ回してくれるとは
Boss
思わなかっ
music,
た。
yes. Yes, exactly.
ここまで来たら、あんたを殺しても犯罪にはならないわよね。
Wait. Our country has a constitutional government. You can't lynch me.
法治国家って何よ。わけのわかんないこと言わないでよ。
Crap, she was stupid. To put it simply, you're misunderstanding
誤
something.
解してるのはあんたの方よ。
May I ask what you mean? Hold up. Why was I, the senior, speaking so politely?
話せばわかる段階はとっくに過ぎてるってことよ。
Uh,
1日2日ストーキングしたくらいなら私だって目をつぶるわ。それくらいで自分の情けなさに気がついて諦めてくれれば怒ったりしない？でもあんたは
a spark of anger appeared in her eyes.
こっちが黙ってるのをいいことにしつこくつけ回してくれて、つまり殺される覚悟があってのことでしょ？
No, you've got it all wrong.
死ね
Why wouldn't she just listen to me? She threw her bag and instantly closed the distance between us. I didn't even have the time to be surprised as she threw a straight right which barely missed hitting me square in the face. I said, wait! Ignoring my desperate pleas, she quickly sidestepped and switched to an elbow jab. I love these images, they're so cool. She's so pissed. Where'd she learn these moves? As I admired her, I lightly pushed her elbow away.
ち
No, not damn! I quickly got away from her, but I couldn't let my guard down. Wait, why the hell was I fighting with the girl in the first place?
まったくジタバタしなけりゃ一瞬で楽にしてあげるの。
I don't want it to end swiftly. More importantly, Shingo-san, you're definitely misunderstanding a lot of things here.
たまりなさい。
She once again got closer to me with hatred in her eyes. If I was careless for even a second, I would die. I decided to take a huge gamble. Also,
何よ。
her face. If you move around like that in a skirt, you're giving everyone a pretty good show. She snapped straight up and held down her skirt. And then she nervously looked around. Classes were over for most people. Of course, that also meant a lot of students ended up watching our little fiasco. She picked up her bag as she turned bright red.
次はないわよ。
She slowly went down the stairs, glaring at me with eyes like Medusa's. I'm alive, somehow. The students who were watching began to disperse. I decided to leave too. It was a long time since I had such intense exercise. I was tired. Wait, not yet. If I didn't clear up this misunderstanding, I'd be dead for sure next time. I better chase after her. I finally caught up to her outside. Well, it would have been weird if I hadn't, since she was walking so slow. Now, about what I would say, I didn't have to worry about that. Kia turned around and sighed.
何？そんなに決着つけたいの？私は構わないわよ。
No, I'm not here to talk about something so barbaric. Hey Clinton, yes, I am standing. I was standing last time too. How you doing?
私が万全なら最初の一撃で血の海に沈められたのに。
Oh. Are you psychotic or what?
あんたみたいな変質者以外には私は心優しい女の子よ。
I'd sure like a piece of that kindness.
いいわよ。
Really?
救急車くらいは呼んであげるわ。
You'd cover the cost of the ambulance?
バカ。何なのよ、まったく。
Ah, that's alright, no problem. To be honest, I don't remember if you were there or not. But now that you're saying it, yeah, you were not. I don't like keep an attendance sheet, you know. It's fine. I hope things are alright. Hope you have had a good week. She suddenly mumbled and began to hurry away. Wait up.
一体何なんですか？
She muttered while walking, not looking at me. What are you talking about?
意味もなく人を追いかけ回してたわけじゃないでしょ？理由くらいは話してください。
You should have asked me that before you tried to beat the crap out of me.
とりあえず殴りたかったんですよ。
Ah, I see. She seemed like the type who acted before thinking. Before I answer your question, I want to ask you something first. Do you know me?
私が1年の時に何度か顔を合わせてますよね。
Yeah, and at the gym recently.
体育館？何のことですか？
Huh? Don't tell me you don't remember.
知らないです。
Her tone definitely sounded strange. Her face was red too. Now that I thought about it, the exchange we had in the gym might have been strangely embarrassing. Not that I cared. Well, whatever. At least you seem to know me.
一応。名前は確か。なんとか京介さんでしたっけ？
I see. So she knew my first name. That's what he always called me, after all. It's Tsutsumi. Kyosuke Tsutsumi. Also, no need to be so polite. I'd be grateful if you could just talk normally.
じゃあ堤、一体何のつもりで私を？
She used his last name without the san at the end. Great. I'd love it if you would at least tack on a san or a senpai to the end of my name.
何よ、注文が多いわね。
Please help me protect what little bit of pride I have left.
じゃあ堤先輩、私はシンプルなのが好きなの。だから一言で言って。あんたの目的は何？
It wasn't that she liked to keep things simple. Rather, she was probably unable to comprehend anything complicated. Of course, I didn't say that out loud, but I smiled. That's a little bit of a presumptuous assumption, man. Because what I wanted wasn't complicated. It was just a single straightforward wish. Yes, but it looks really weird from the outside when you go about it that way. Normally, you want to photograph something, you want to photograph someone or film someone, you just ask them, no? Like, that's the basic of, permission and consent. I want to make a movie about you. I woke up today in perfect shape. As usual, I quickly put on my uniform and got ready. Yesterday didn't go so well, but I had to talk to her again today. I've negotiated with actresses for the film club many times before, but there was no doubt that Kei Shindo was the toughest nut I've ever had to crack. Maybe that's why it was worth doing. Morning. Surrounded by her friends, Kei looked plainly annoyed. That facial expression was just brilliant. Perhaps this was an indication that she was the perfect choice to have in my movie. Sorry, may I borrow her for a bit? I smiled sweetly at her friends.
はあ。私たちはまあ、K がいいのなら。
Looks like it was up to her to ease their suspicions.
借りるとか借りないとかって、私はレンタルビデオじゃないのよ。
Damn, I think I forgot my member's card. A sharp glare. Sorry, it was a joke.
私、冗談は大嫌いなのよ。
I'll remember that. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about something. She sighed deeply, then gave a worn-out smile to her friends.
ごめんね。ちょっと先に行っててもらえる？いいけど。
They both looked a bit worried for some reason.
大丈夫よ。別に殺したりしないから。
I knew it. She was a psychotic nutcase. Wait, so even her friends were aware of that? The girls left us with looks of worry and annoyance on their faces.
歩きながら話しましょう。立ち止まってたら遅刻するわ。
So, did you think about it? I lined up next to her.
また、堤先輩の映画に出ろって話ですか？
Of course.
ばっかじゃないの？
Whoops, there went my dream. She said the same thing yesterday, though.
何が楽しくて私が英検に付き合わなきゃいけないのよ。
Oh, I didn't tell you. I'm not with the film club.
Huh?
She stopped. I quit earlier this year, just like you. Even though I smiled at her, she just looked at me with suspicion. I knew she wouldn't trust me right away, but this was a little overboard. By the way, I know a bit about you. I kinda already asked you yesterday, but how much do you know about me? If I wanted her trust, she had to know who I was first.
どれくらいって。
She mumbled to herself.
時々バスケ部の試合を撮影に来てた英検の人、女子生徒に割と人気があるってこと。
She had an expression of distaste on her face as she said that. She had probably heard some really bad things about me. I can explain most of that, but let's save that for another time. Anything else?
それと。
Oh, sorry. She gazed far off into the distance for a split second. That was it, that look in her eyes. That was the look I wanted to capture in film from the bottom of my heart.
ヒロノ先輩の友達よね。
Well, yeah. That little bastard who also happened to be a shoujo manga artist. He didn't even say a word to me about leaving school. Also, he was loved unconditionally by the girl in front of me. Right now, she probably only thought of me as Hirono's friend. Yes, everything you just mentioned is true, but none of that matters right now. All I'm asking is to film you. Not as a member of the film club, not as Hirono's friend. None of that is related to this. I was serious. I never joked about filming. However, she didn't know that, so she looked displeased as she opened her mouth.
わけわかんないわ。
Ever since I was young, I had been able to do everything well. I wasn't a natural at anything, but never had problems with my studies, sports, or my social life. It wasn't like I was trying. People would hate me for saying this, but I never really needed to put that much effort into doing anything. I thought it was outrageous myself. And yet, maybe that was why I always felt unsatisfied with whatever I did.
じゃあこの問題を宮村やってみろ。
Responding jokingly, Miyako stood up. She lightly walked to the blackboard, then thought for a few seconds. The check began moving across the board while making brisk tapping sounds.
因数分解して、で、共通因数の。
It didn't matter that the problem was pretty hard. She solved it without any hesitation. I slowly started moving my pencil as well. A few moments later,
できました。
she turned around and smiled at the teacher.
うん、正解だ。さすがだな、宮村。
さすがでしょ
Okay, who answers like that? The class laughed at her witty comment. I looked at my notebook and confirmed that my answer was the same as hers. However, she was a bit faster. What was up with her? Was it because she actually tried? Maybe she was actually intelligent?
それでは次の問題は、佐々木。
頑張れ、佐々木ちゃん。
Miyako whispered, cheering on the girl. Sasaki grinned and waved as she made her way to the blackboard. In any case, Miyako was different from before. I wondered if this change was going to continue. It was over. It was finally lunchtime.
さて、つっつん。
Damn it. Miyako Miyamura suddenly appeared in front of me again.
ああ、とりあえずパシリとかじゃなくて。
For now?
まずはちょっとお話があるから。
Ah.
ジュースはその後。つっつんお払い箱なんかにしないから安心して。
Oh, really? I'd rather be thrown away, actually.
ああ、お話って言っても告白とかそういう甘酸っぱいイベントは起こらないよ。あたし、ヒロくん専用だから。
I don't think he would be interested in that anyway. I'll be sure not to expect anything. Hold on a minute. What do you mean by belong?
実はさ、さっきの授業で引っかかったところがあるんだよね。
She wasn't even listening to me. Then why don't you go ask the teacher?
先生だってお昼休みじゃん。邪魔したら悪いよ。
But it's totally fine to bother me.
あ 私は別に気にしないよ。
Oh my god. Could you at least care a little? Well, if you didn't get it, then I didn't either. You ranked first out of our year during midterms. I was only third. That's right. Miyako, who had only started attending school regularly around third term last year, came out on top. She had always excelled and placed in the top 10, but now she was number 1.
まあ、3位には3位なりの考え方があると思うの。
Don't call me third place. Sorry, but I've got something to do. Ask someone else. Oh, and go get your own juice. I stood up.
強気だね。用って何？
Something that won't go well if I don't do anything about it. Something that gives me unlimited rewards if I work hard enough. It's just something like that. It was the only thing that I, who had never felt satisfied, found genuinely fun. Filmmaking. And in order for me to have even more fun, I needed that girl, no matter what. As I was heading towards the second-year classrooms, a dull, annoying sound reverberated throughout the school.
2年 D 組の新藤圭さん。繰り返します。2年 D 組の新藤圭さん。浅木先生がお呼びです。至急職員室まで来てください。
What's going on? I had thought that school-wide broadcasts were usually bad things. It'd be better if they just stopped being lazy, found the person, and told him or her directly. Well, I wasn't going to just ignore that announcement. Change of plans.
失礼します。
Excuse me. I stepped out and bowed my head. Oh man, I was all stiff.
それより、なんで先輩まで来たのよ。
You wouldn't have been able to lie your way through that alone, would you? She was speechless. The reason behind her being called in was very simple. In short, the teacher had heard about her violent actions yesterday. Well, of course you'd be called in for such a huge fight at school.
原因を作ったのはどこの誰よ。
I wonder. Why wasn't I called? My guess was that the guy who snitched didn't know my name. Not being Mr. Popular had its perks. Just a little bad luck, I guess.
そういう先輩は悪運強そうですね。おまけにしれっとした顔で先生を丸め込んじゃうし、信じられないわ。
Of course he did. I would expect no less of him. I told them we were just joking around. I thought it was a lame excuse myself, but everything turned out fine. I guess that's one of the perks of being an honor student. Teachers have a hard time busting guys with good grades.
遠回しに私の成績が悪いって言ってない？
No way, I'm just rambling about myself.
何にしてもムカつく話ね。
Seemed like she really couldn't take it. Well, it ended up being no big deal, so it's all good. I patted her on the back.
ちょっと気安く触らないでよ。
Fine, I'll just touch you uncasually.
心構えの問題じゃね。
Man, she was psychotic and bossy. Wait, where are you going? That wasn't the way to her classroom.
どこだっていいでしょ。
Well, I guess. Right, it didn't matter where she went. To me, all that mattered was that she was there. As the warning bell rang, the students playing basketball and badminton dispersed. Even so, Kay didn't move, standing in a corner of the gym like a statue. As her stare pierced our surroundings, she looked kinda intimidating. Break's over.
わかってるわよ。
You didn't eat?
食欲ないもの。
I see. I was a bit hungry myself, but I could bear it.
そんなことより、授業始まるわよ。
I know.
行かないの？
It doesn't matter, does it? Class will start with or without me.
当たり前じゃないの。
She fell silent. As I heard the cicada cries coming from somewhere, I shot a glance at her face. She rolled her eyes with a bit of sass, and her lips were firmly sealed. However, there was no expression on her solemn face. The bell for class had already rung, but she just stood there.
少し前までは授業サボるなんて考えられなかったわ。
She suddenly started speaking on her own.
なのに今は当たり前みたいにこうしてる。昔は人がサボってても腹が立ったくらいなのに。
I never used to skip either, but it wasn't because I was serious about attending. I just thought there wasn't any need to skip. She looked at me with a bit of surprise. I ignored her and continued speaking. I've been skipping so much lately that I can't even look the teachers in the eye anymore. Ta-da! I pulled out my camcorder and showed it to her.
どこに持ってたのよ、それ。
I take it wherever I go. You never know when you'll find a good scene.
ばっかみたい。
I grimaced. I feel like one too sometimes, no doubt about it. But that's because I found you. At that time, I didn't have my camcorder. What a shame.
あの時
Yeah, when you were standing there in the gym. I could almost say you looked godly.
よくそんな恥ずかしいことさらっと言えるわね。
But it's true.
バカ。本当にバカね。
She looked at the lens for a split second, then turned away. She didn't seem to be denying our meeting in the gym now.
先輩は英検退部したって言ってたわよね。
Huh? Yeah, I did.
聞いていい？
Of course, anything's fine.
なんで部活やめたの？
I put down the hand holding my camcorder and searched for the right words. Well, instead of saying I quit, it would be more accurate to say I was chased out.
それ先輩の被害妄想じゃないの？
Ouch. But you might be half right.
あんたね。
Well, we had different visions. Their opinions on filmmaking didn't agree with me. What my friends in the film club wanted was a film that could win. Of course, they'd want acknowledgement for something they'd done. That's natural. With good results came more funding. Because I understood that, I didn't criticize their actions one bit. It couldn't be helped. It definitely wasn't their fault. It was mine. Since I didn't work well with others when I was filming, it was only natural they wanted me gone. All I wanted was one scene. No, one frame. I wanted to film a single frame that was so good it shook my body to its core. That was all I wanted. I didn't care about what other people thought.
堤先輩はそれでよかったの？
Whether I think so or not, I'll leave it up to you. But when I was in the film club, I never imagined I'd be able to make a movie about you.
結局そこに持ってくるのね。
Of course he is. He's sweet talking you. She didn't have to look so annoyed. How stubborn.
なんで私を撮りたいのか全然わからないし。もう3年の夏なんだから受験勉強に集中すればいいじゃない。映画なんて進学してからでも撮れるでしょ？
I shook my head slowly. It's not like that. I think there's this moment I can only capture on film right now. If I let it slip away, it won't ever come back. It's that kind of thing.
二度と取り戻せない。
She intentionally opened her eyes wide and stared at me. I wanted to film you. All I wanted to do was obey my feelings.
先輩はその一瞬を捕まえられるの？
I don't know, but I feel it's important that I have this desire to do so. That's why I'm asking you. A good movie was just waiting to be shot. I had to go find it with my own legs, no matter how hard it was. Also,
それに
if I didn't make movies, I wouldn't be me.
それはまたかっこいいことを言ったものですね。
I'm always cool.
初耳ですね。
Despite the sweltering heat in the church, Yuko Amamiya looked completely unfazed. I didn't know why she did it, but she was still wearing winter garb. Not only that, but her clothes were something like a nun's outfit. Pretty weird considering she wasn't part of the church. She spoke without leniency, dressed nicely, and felt somewhat detached from this world.
しかし妙なことを思いついたものですね。女の子一人だけを使って映画撮るなんてあまり聞いたことないですよ。
I Don't think it's that rare of a technique. Well, this works fine. I'm getting bored of ordinary movies.
なんだか無駄なくらいに前向きですね。
Damn. This was just too much. Even though Hiro had warned me, I really couldn't stomach being treated like an idiot by this freak.
変わってますよね、あなたは。さすがにヒロノさんの友人だけのことはあります。
I'm a bit uncomfortable with you placing me in the same category as him.
同類ですよ。あなたとヒロノさんは似てます。表面的にはともかくね。
I'm not so sure. What made her think that way? How could a rebel like him be like me, who always faced every challenge seriously?
もっと言うなら、ミヤコと付き合う前のヒロノさんに、ですか？
I still got laid way before he did, of course, because that's incredibly relevant.
あなたの頭の中は常にそっちのことでいっぱいですか？
Yuko's face. Priceless. How about filling your head with thoughts of me?
今のところそんな予定はございませんね。
She completely rejected me with a smile. I guess it'd be impossible to score with Yuko Hamami. She was definitely beautiful, but also a bit too beautiful to put on camera. It'd be a disservice to her.
それで、その子は受けてくれそうなんですか？
I have no idea.
ですけど、言うべきことはすべて言ったのでしょ？
Yeah, I've laid all my cards out on the table. Now I'm just waiting for a response. I felt that if she saw that, she would hopefully change her mind.
だったら、私は祈りましょうか。あなたの言葉が彼女に届くように。
Her smile became a bit wider than it was before. When I saw that smile, I began to believe that this girl really was older than me.
祈るだけなら、ただですからね。
Prayers are free. I seriously would have tried to win her over if she wasn't the type who said unnecessary things.
あの堤という先輩は本当にわけがわからない。
We get a little bit of perspective from Kay.
英検でもなく演技の経験だって皆無の私を使って映画を撮りたいなんて正気とは思えない。案外正気じゃないのかも。
This was my entry for last year's contest. Check it out. Also, how weird that, like, his name doesn't fit.
見たくないわよ、そんなの。
Come on, don't be a buzzkill. Besides, it won a prize, so it can't be that bad.
だからいらないって。
I'm the director and cameraman, by the way.
人の話を聞け。
He's not, definitely.
最後まで抵抗したのに、結局押し切られて受け取ってしまった。
I like her clothes. They fit her. They're very suited to her personality in a way. Like it.
だからどうってことはないけどね。こんなの見たからって私の気持ちが変わるわけないんだから。普通の映画じゃないこれ。一応再生しては見たもののあんまり面白くない。はっきり言ってお話はかったるいというか眠いというか。役者の演技はたどたどしいし、セリフだって棒読みな上に滑舌が悪くて聞き取りにくい。でもなのになんで停止してしまわないんだろう。こういうおとなしくてうじうじした話なんて趣味じゃないのに。舞台になっているのは音羽の町。見慣れているはずの風景がどこか遠い異世界のように思えてしまう。次々と場面が切り替わってゆく。その度に人と物と、そして光。それらを絶妙としか言いようのない位置から撮影している。カメラはあまり動かない。固定されたフレームの中で光景が生き生きと描写されている。画面から目が離せない。まるで見入られてしまったかのように。
I think there's this moment I can only capture on film right now.
あの人はそんなことを言っていた。私だってわかってる。何よりも大切にしなきゃいけないのは今という時間だということを。わかってるわよ。 どんなに過去を悔やんでみても時間を戻すことだけはできない。そして先のことばかり考えていたら、思いを告げたらどうしたって今まで通りじゃいられなくなる。だから私は何も言えなかった。冬までの私は未来を恐れ、今は過去に縛られている。
If I didn't make movies, I wouldn't be me.
堤先輩は居場所を失っても自分がやりたいことは諦めてない。かけがえのない一瞬を求めて頑張っている。私は何だろう。ただ学園に行って友達と話して遊んで、決して退屈ってわけじゃない。
Kevin! Oh, you're so cute. Hi, sweetie, how are you? So nice to have you around. I hope things are going alright.
でも何もしてないのと同じだと思う。私はずっと知らなかった。何もしないってことがこんなにも疲れるってことを私は知らなかった。目は画面を見たまま。パソコンのキーボードに手が伸びる。ねえ、私はどうしたらいいと思う？ここにはいないあの子に問いかける。もちろん答えは返ってこなかったけれど、答えはもう私の中にあるような気がした。
Mm-hmm. Ooh, you moved to your first apartment! Nice! Congrats! I hope it's a good place. I hope it has enough space to house all of the things that you need around you to live a nice and happy life. I'm alright. Kind of tired lately. Work is kind of mentally draining. So it takes all of me to put myself together and also stream. But I'm trying not to, let it get to me. So taking it easy and just, using the opportunity of stream to just relax with story and characters that I like. So yeah, if I'm yawning a lot or being a little bit spaced out, that's why. But otherwise, things are good. Things are good. Not much is happening. And work is, like I said, intensive, but it's progressing. So that's good too.
だから協力してあげてもいいって言ってるの。
It was the break between third and fourth period. Kay, who I met in the hallway completely by chance, looked miffed. What does miffed even mean? I have no idea. Sometimes they use these words I've never heard of before. Well, I'm happy that you're helping me, but...
何か不満でもあるの？
Oh, thank you, sweetie. I'm really happy to hear about your apartment. Woo! Good job. No, it's just... Why did you change your mind?
やっぱりやめた。さよなら。
She spun around and was about to leave. I panicked and quickly grabbed her shoulder. Wait.
だから軽々しく人の体に。
Fine, then I'll...
重々しくとか言ったら死なす。
I wasn't going to say that. I took my hand off her shoulder and shook my head. Yes, I do. I just had a drink as well. All is good. All is good. Aw, thank you. I'm really happy that tomorrow is Friday and the weekend is on the horizon because I am sick of it. Thankfully, I'm at a point where I know what I need to do. It's just kind of tedious. That's all. That's the only drawback. I'm a bit past the point of like, oh my god, I gotta do this thing and I don't know how, and I have no idea how long it's gonna take or how I'm gonna pull it off. So at least those times of panic and dread are over. Now there's just like some tediousness left over. But I'll deal with it. It's fine.
とりあえずはそれだけ。後の細かいことは放課後に話しましょう。
Mift is annoyed. Okay.
それでいいわよね。
Thank you, Beatrice. I will remember this for next time. Of course. I'll solve all the problems. Aw, I'm doing my best. I nodded profusely. I didn't know if it was because she saw the tape or for no reason at all, but she agreed. Life was looking good. Yes, Beatrice with the save. I was thinking of like looking it up too, but
その締まりのない顔はただでさえバカみたいに見えるのに。
it didn't feel right to interrupt just for the sake of a word. Kind of from the context, you can already like infer the direction. It wasn't something good, right? That's what I got. Like she wasn't necessarily in a pleasant mood or had a pleasant expression on her face. That's all. So yeah. It's a skill that you develop as a person who is not a native speaker in English to deduce kind of the nuance of words from the context that they're used in. So you don't know exactly what it means, but you kind of feel like, it's kind of that thing. Yeah, that's... I realize lately that that's how I know, more or less, most of the words. And also another issue that I have is especially since I started reading visual novels, I noticed that there's plenty of words that I have never heard being spoken. So I've encountered them plenty. I have deduced from the context what they mean. I just have never heard them, I've only read them. And so when I have to read them, I'm like, huh. In my mind, I always assumed the pronunciation was this, but is it really? Because when I say it out loud, it's not really that. So, yeah. You encounter the word quite often. I've never heard it, but okay. Good for learning and accumulating vocabulary. No, I'm just really happy. I didn't think you were actually going to accept. Thank you, Kei-chan. Oh, this is so cool. I love it.
抱きつくんじゃねえ
Oh my god. She elbowed me in the face and quickly stepped away.
それとちゃん付けで呼ぶのも禁止
How about Keitan?
もういいから家に帰って死ね
So why'd I have to go home again? I was joking, no need to get your panties in a bunch.
先輩が人の気持ちを逆なでするからでしょともかくあんたはもうちょっと周りに気を使いなさい
Geez, did she wake up on the wrong side of the bed or what? Well, I guess this change couldn't be that bad.
あと撮影するのはいいけど条件があるわ
Conditions?
そう無条件に何でも撮らせてあげるほど心広くないの私
She gave me a sly smile.
つっつん、何ニヤニヤしてんの？
As I was getting ready to leave after class, Miyako showed up again.
もしかしてやっと性病が完治したとか？
It's got nothing to do with that.
おや、そうなの？
Why did she have to sound so surprised at that? Why the hell are you so happy anyway? And where'd you get all these weird ideas from?
部活から追い出されて、彼女もいない夏をこれから過ごす人が楽しそうにしてたら、普通そう思うよ。
Since when were you normal?
確かに私は人並み外れて可愛くて頭もいいけど。
If it's not too much trouble, could I leave now? I didn't want to hang out with someone so conceited.
でもさ。
Uh-oh, a serious face. Wait, I think this was the first time I'd ever seen her like that since having been in her class.
堤くん？
Ooh, she used his name, okay. She suddenly got close.
ケイちゃんと何を話してたの？
So she saw me. Why do you care?
私はひどいやつだけど、あの子のことを放っておけるほど冷酷にはなれないの。ケイちゃんのこと気にならないはずがないよ。
Good for you. I grabbed my bag and stood up.
待って、ちゃんと答えて。
I just wanted her to be in my movie. That's it. Nothing more.
映画？ケイちゃんに？
It's just a feeling, but I think she's got the right stuff. There's just something about her that interests me. Also, she's probably strong enough to not need you worrying about her.
それは君の思い込みじゃないのかな。まだほとんど喋ったこともないんでしょ？
I smiled. Well, that's about to change. There she stood, the girl I had recently met. The shadow being cast from where she stood contrasted the sun shining into the gym. I believe everyone has experienced sadness or depression at some point in their lives. If you couldn't avoid it, you just had to find a way to accept it. But I was sure it was different for her. What sort of feelings did she hide within that little body of hers? I wanted to know, or rather, I wanted to capture her heart within the viewfinder. Kay, who was standing alone in front of the school gate, looked up and saw me. Sorry, did I make you wait?
デートの待ち合わせみたいな言い方はやめてくれる？
What, it's not?
全然違うわよ。
I love the music. So fitting. Alright, chill.
あんたがいらんこと言うからでしょ？
I hadn't noticed, but based on her reaction, maybe I was acting out of line. Whatever. It wasn't like I was about to change my attitude for her. Okay, what now? It's still hot out, so you wanna stop by a cafe or something?
歩きながら話せばいいでしょ？
You sure? Oh, I know. We could go to the park. The mood would be better there.
ムードを出す必要なんてないでしょ？あんた何がしたいわけ？
Ah, sorry, it's a habit.
念のために言っておくけど、私はあくまで撮影に付き合うだけ。そこを勘違いしておかしな真似したらマジで命取りになるからね。
I think I know that all too well. I'd be pushing up daisies the instant... the instant she turned on me.
映画撮るって具体的にどうするのよ？他に役者さんとかスタッフとか集めてくるの？
Nah, it's basically just the two of us.
本気で？
She looked really shocked. I'm always serious.
あんたは本気になるところを間違ってない？
Not to worry. From here on out, I'll show you how filmmaking is really done.
頭にくる言い方ね。
Now. I gently smiled and patted her on the back.
だからポンポン人の体にってもういいわ。
Really, I can touch you now. Anywhere, anytime?
そんなわけあるか。今度からは実力で分からせることにしたのよ。
Well, that's fine. Just stop hitting me in the face.
それもそうね。結構人の顔って硬いから。
She rubbed her fist and acted as if nothing had happened. Was it made out of iron?
言っておくけど、私は演技なんてできないわよ。できてもやるつもりはないし。
Ah, that doesn't matter. It's not a porno. And if I forced an amateur to act, it wouldn't be fun, would it? What?
もっとまともな例えは出せないの？
What? Is something weird?
全力でおかしいけど、とりあえず置いておくわ。
Oh my god.
演技しないならどうやって映画なんて撮るのよ。
Just be yourself. I don't want you to play anyone. I just want to film you.
私をそのまま？
She was stunned. In any case, she tilted her head with a weird expression on her face.
もうなんだかどうでもいい気分だけど、そんなので本当に映画になるの？
Definitely. I smiled. With my hands and your help. Don't think about it too much. It's more like a documentary. She took out a videotape from her bag while thinking.
これって全部あんたが撮ったの？
Huh? Oh, yeah, I did. I took the tape and nodded. There were 6 people in the club when this was made, but I was the only one with a camcorder. By the way, what did you think?
新規臭いお話ね。
That's it? I didn't write the script, but I wanted to hear something more positive. Well, something like that. She blushed a little, seemingly hesitant about something.
映像はちょっと綺麗だったかな。
Right, give me a couple minutes. I need to do a quick bathroom run because of all the water that I have been drinking. Whoops, and I slipped and skipped a scene. Sorry, a line. I didn't mean to. I will be right back. Sorry, accidentally clicked the wrong overlay. Here we are. Mic is on. Everything is good. Okay. Except, yeah, I guess I need to click inside the game. There it is. So, though she would complain, I didn't think she'd mind being in my movie anymore. She wouldn't back down once she said okay. I guess being stubborn had its good points. Now then. I told her that we'd start filming tomorrow. I looked at the calendar and planned my schedule in my head. There was only about a month before summer break. Even if she didn't have any club activities, she probably had plans for the summer. I guess I really didn't have that much time. It usually takes only 2 weeks to film a movie, but I couldn't be with her every single day. Considering the situation, I'd have to come up with some sort of plan. But that wasn't something I should be thinking about the day before filming. Whoops. I didn't like sudden noises coming from my phone, so I usually put it on vibrate. Yep. You and me both.
どうも。私だけど。
Ah, Izumi. It's been a while. How are you? The girlfriend I was talking to, Emi Izumi, was the current head of the film club. Well, former girlfriend.
あんたはずいぶん元気そうね。もっと落ち込んでるかと思ってたけど。
Why? I'm always like this.
それがおかしいでしょうが。英検やめても今まで通りなんて変でしょ。いつもバカみたいに張り切ってたくせに。
Well, even though I quit, I'm still filming.
え？
I found something potentially interesting. There's no plot, no setting, and I'll start filming tomorrow.
あんたって何考えてるの？
Thinking? Well,
女のこと以外でね。
she hadn't been with me all these years for nothing. She pretty much had me all figured out. Well, I'm thinking about filmmaking. I guess you could say that's all I'm thinking about.
へえ、多少は自覚あるわけね。あんたがもうちょっと他のことにも気を回せたら、英検をやめることもなかったし、私たちももっと続いたと思わない？
She had been my colleague in the club for 2 years. And from last winter until I quit the club this spring, she was also my girlfriend. Maybe. But that's all over now. On the day I quit the club, she said, let's break up.
そうね。変なこと言ってごめん。
Even though I was the one who was being rejected, she was the one who looked hurt. I still remember that, even then. Now don't worry about it. What about you guys? Gonna start filming? The school festival was right after summer break. It was a once-in-a-year event, the most important for the club, and the last chance for seniors like her to shine.
ああ、そうそう。去年の学園祭で上演したやつのマスター、あんたが持ってるでしょ？
Oh, yeah, apologies for not returning it. Let's see, what should I do? We finished our arrangements, but she got quiet all of a sudden. All I heard was the faint sound of static. Did she want to discuss something else?
ああ、ごめん。ちょっとぼーっとしちゃってた。
What, the summer heat getting to you?
まさか。ただでさえうちは部員少ないのに、今年の新入部員が使えなくて。部長兼監督の私としては、いろいろ苦労が絶えないのよ。
Haha, that sucks.
笑い事じゃない。もう本当に大変なんだからね。
I could hear joy in her voice, somewhere. It was as if she forgot all about my resignation from the club and our breakup. However, the newly arisen air of nostalgia quickly dissipated. She probably realized I didn't want to turn back.
京介、
Yeah?
あんたの映画、私は好きよ。他の誰が何と言おうとも、私はあんたの腕前、認めてるから。
Thanks.
京介は
She was about to say something, but she stopped herself.
何でもない。もう切るから。
Okay, good night.
バイバイ。
I ended the call. In the end, we couldn't really talk to each other. Of course, that should have been obvious. We broke up for that very reason. Well, it didn't matter anymore. I found something else I wanted to do. It was a waste of time to brood about the past. Alright. I was looking forward to filming tomorrow. I wondered what sort of face I would see on K. This may have been the first time I had looked forward to something so enthusiastically. Okay, we're rolling. On the screen, Kei's face remained stoic. She didn't speak and simply stared at the camcorder. Shindo, did you hear me? The camera's rolling. Okay.
聞こえてるわよ。
She doesn't know how to do this, man. You have to guide her. What the heck? You can just be like, okay, the camera's rolling. You do the thing. Okay, then why are you so stiff?
うるさいわね。 カメラ向けられるのなんて慣れてないんだからしょうがないでしょ。
I see. So you didn't get any love from your parents.
違う。あんたみたいな怪しげな男にカメラ向けられれば固まりもするわよ。
Don't worry about it. It'll all be fine.
なめてんのかあんた。
You're so cute when you're mad.
おー、よーくわかったわ。
Her body swayed.
よし、ご宅はもういいからかかってきなさい。
And what exactly, and why exactly would I do that?
あんた、私をおちょくって遊んでるんでしょ。
Oh, she was really suspicious. Well, I won't deny that.
なんだとこの野郎。
Geez, she talked like a guy. Just have fun. Don't think about it too much.
本当に何なのかしら。
She shook her head in bewilderment.
そういえば一つ忘れてたわ。
Yeah?
あんたの目的がよくわからないのよね。
My goal?
映画撮ってどうするのよ。コンクールにでも出すの？
No, that's not it. If I wanted to enter a competition, I would have stayed in the club.
じゃあ何？私を撮ったそのテープはあんたのところで腐っちゃうわけ。
I'm going to take good care of it and watch it over and over. Ooh.
やっぱり変質者でしょ、あんた。
I don't care if you insult me. I'd do anything to get a good shot.
完全に開き直ってるわね。
Even if she were shocked, as long as Kay ran away, I had to keep chasing her. I had already prepared for the worst. You said it yourself. I can film you, but I can't show it to anyone else without permission. That was her condition for being in the movie. Of course I didn't care. This wasn't a commercial work, and I wasn't trying to enter some competition. I'll worry about who can see this later. I'm focused on filming right now.
でもずーっとこうやって私を追いかけ回すつもり？
Of course. Until the day you die. Alright.
一生つきまとう気かよ。
It was a joke.
このろくでなしめ。
I simply shrugged as she glared at me.
女の子の後をついて回るなんて完全に不審人物よね。学園でもカメラ回すの？
Ah, don't worry. I've been walking around school with the camcorder since first year. No one thinks I'm suspicious, whether they be students or teachers.
自慢にならないわよ、そんなの。
I had just eaten lunch at the cafeteria and was heading back to class. I saw Miyako Miyamura walking with a few friends. Way back when I first tried to hit on her, she didn't have a single friend. Now she was popular with both guys and girls. Life sure was mysterious. Damn, she saw me.
ごめんね。私ちょっと離脱。
She excused herself casually and came straight to me.
つっつん、ちょっといいかな。
Not really, but I can run from you, can I?
ほほう、だいぶわかってるじゃないか、つつみくん。はあ、ここに来るの久しぶり。
She sounded happy.
最近一人になる機会もなかったからな。1ヶ月以上来てなかったかも。
I have a question.
はい、つつみくんどうぞ。
She wagged her finger around. Why do you have the key to the roof?
私のこの美貌を使えば手に入らないものなんてないんだよ。そう、宇宙の海は私の海。
Okay, seriously? There wasn't much time left. The conversation needed to go somewhere.
ヒロくんにもらったんだよ。
Plain and simple. I have no idea why he'd have something like that.
うん、実はね。
According to Miyako's explanation, Hiro's sister, an alumna of Ottawa Collegiate, had given him this key as a present when he got accepted into the school. Then Hiro, who had left school already, gave the key to Miyako.
でも、これはもう、私には必要ないのかもね。
She wore a complicated expression on her face as she fidgeted with the key.
そろそろ誰かに渡そうかな。
Is that so?
つっつん、本当にケイちゃんを撮ってるんだね。
The conversation suddenly changed course.
朝、ケイちゃんと一緒に歩いてるのを見たよ。
I never joke about filming.
ケイちゃん一人をずっと撮影してそれだけで映画になるのかな。アイドルのイメージビデオじゃあるまいし、そんなの面白いとも思わないけどな。
Everyone loves criticizing me, huh? This is just something I gotta do. I was devoted solely to chasing her, speaking with her, and letting her talk from her own heart. I didn't even care if my words were cut out after hers. For this film, I had no intention of sticking to some ordinary movie style. The movie I want to make.
うわ
I don't care if it makes the audience think or cry. I had left the club and could now film however I wanted. There was no need for me to do the same thing I'd been doing up until now. Nothing else matters. All I want to do is shake the heart of anyone who's watching, even if just a little. That's all. If I kept on chasing her, I was sure I would get that scene. My premonitions had never been wrong. I feel him. I really do.
やっぱり堤先輩の考えてることは理解不能よね。
And I really respect his hustle. He wants to do something his own way, not adhere to any standards or conventions, and he just wants it, like if someone looks at it, to be moved in some way or another. And that's it. It's... how do I put it? It sounds incredibly simplistic, but at the same time it kind of like encapsulates everything that actually matters, in a sense. So I remember I really liked this idea in the anime, and I'm glad I get to see a bit of an in-depth look into his mind here. That's nice. Also, what a cool detail that Kei's eyes, when she blinks, they blink on the camcorder as well. Right, I can't help but be impressed by that. Okay, let's move on.
心が揺れればいい？一体何なのよ、それは。
Put another way, to get them to associate with me. I pointed the camcorder towards her and smiled. Classes were long today, but Kei had waited for me despite that. I was a bit touched. Kei-chan, you're so nice.
その人を舐めきった態度を改めないと、あんたに明日はないわよ。
I'm sorry, Shindo-san. In order to preserve my beautiful tomorrow, I sincerely bowed my head and apologized.
バカ。
She was still as scary as usual, but she didn't seem to be seriously angry. There was also the chance that I simply couldn't tell. I guess... sorry. Yeah, no, I read it correctly. I guess it was just the lack of intensity.
とりあえず言っていい？
Yeah, of course. Don't worry about me, just go wherever you need to go and say what you want to say.
言いたいことなんて何もないわよ。
She slowly began to walk, and I was right by her side.
本当にあんたっておかしな人よね。
Am I? Filmmakers are all a bit crazy in the
多
head.
分、あんたはその中でもとびっきりよ。
Special case. Was that a compliment or did she just call me a complete idiot?
私だってたまには映画見るけど、誰か一人を追いかける映画なんて見たことないわ。
I've never seen anything like that either. Speaking of which, I don't really watch movies.
見ないの？
Her surprised voice reverberated throughout the hallway.
あんた、英検なんでしょ？
Was. I know a lot about them, but I've never actually dissected a movie. I usually just go to the movie theaters without reading or watching reviews. Then I just rent whatever big hits I missed on video.
それじゃ、まるっきり普通の人じゃない。
She probably thought I was some movie freak. I'm more interested in cinematography. There are some novelists who don't read novels and manga artists who don't read manga.
そういうもんかしら。
Then there are those like me who prefer to always keep minority spirit. For some reason, she was blushing and seemed troubled. What's up? I didn't think we were talking about anything embarrassing. Did I say something inappropriate again?
そうじゃなくて、マイノリティって何？
Ah!
バカにしてるの？バカにしてるんでしょ？バカにしてるのよね！
He never said any of that. No. They say if you ask, it's 1 second of shame. If you hold your peace, it's a lifetime of shame. The fact that you were able to ask such a question is the important thing. Anyway, it means that there aren't a lot of people like me.
そうなの。
She really didn't know about stuff. That was kind of cute. To be honest, I didn't really understand what he meant with that phrase either. Well, let's not concern ourselves with stuff about me.
私のことだってどうでもいいわよ。
Wait, that's not good.
何が良くないのよ。
Even though she glared at me, I didn't back down. You don't understand the joy of filming. I'm filming you because you're interesting.
面白い？ああ、確かに面白いかもしれないわね。
She sounded calm, then stopped walking. Somehow the mood changed. Yes, it was that feeling I felt when I first saw her.
堤先輩も分かってるんでしょ？私のヒロノ先輩への気持ち。
Well, the only person who hadn't noticed how she felt was probably Hiro himself.
ずっと好きだった男の子に振られて、本気で打ち込んでた部活も怪我してやめて、どん底にいる人間を眺めてれば面白いでしょうね。
Definitely. Oh my god, maybe that's not the thing to say. She twitched. It was just as she said. Kei Shindo was suffering from a broken heart and frustration, the perfect material for a drama. There was no need to force a story onto her. She could be a star on the screen all by herself.
やっと分かった。あんたは人でなしなんだわ。というより人間じゃないみたい。
Just think of me as a silent cameraman. As I said that, I instinctively brought a smile to my face. I see. Even though she wasn't good at studying, she had good intuition. I wanted to be a machine that just greedily searched for a good shot. Without forcing a story onto her, I wanted to film her, to create a movie out of her. No, I was going to do this. Although evening was approaching, it was still steamy outside. Kei and I walked together, weaving through students on our way home.
先輩って、
What?
先輩、私の試合を見たことあるのよね。
Only 2 or 3 times. The basketball team had asked me to film a couple of their practice games. I don't know much about basketball, but the way you played with the fence all around you and how you never backed down, I thought that was amazing.
お世辞なんて聞きたくない。それに、どんなにすごくたって、自分の不調にも気づかないようじゃ、選手として失格だわ。
Are you talking about your injury? I didn't know the details. All I knew was that there was a rumor going around that the first-year star of the women's basketball team suddenly got injured and quit the team. I didn't have any interest in Kei at the time, and I didn't think I would want to know more.
内側、側腹靭帯損傷とか言ってたかな。
Is that a really bad injury?
私の場合は手術するほどひどくはなかったし、固定とリハビリでほとんど回復してるわ。
In that case, you should be able to play basketball again. It seemed she didn't even know when she got injured. I saw that game too. When she suddenly fell, her knee had already been broken.
話はそんなに簡単じゃないの。
She was completely indifferent.
治ったって言っても、膝に爆弾を抱えたことに変わりはないもの。
All things considered, I thought you were pretty keen that one time you attacked me.
襲いかかったなんて人聞きが悪いわね。あれは悪者退治よ。
A criminal.
あの時だって私が万全なら堤先輩なんて3秒でバラバラにできたわよ。
What sorts of skills was she going to use? Wait, did that mean she was moving while protecting her knee? Isn't it quite common for athletes to be knocked about here and there?
そうね。
Then why?
わからないわ。
She shook her head slightly. Then she looked straight at me.
堤先輩、これまで何かスポーツやってた？
Well, not really.
結局のところ、勝負の世界で上を狙える人間っていうのは常に気持ちでも勝ってるものなのよ。その強い気持ちを私はなくしてしまったから。転んでうずくまってなんとか顔を上げたその時にはどこにもゴールが見えなくなってたの。もういいの。 うまく言えないけど、もういいのよ。それが今の私の現実だもの。
Done. I finished checking the footage from today. Editing needed skilled eyes. I had to meticulously scan everything for the best possible sections. Still, I really didn't know what the final product would look like. Phew. I plopped down on my bed. Kei Shindo. In all honesty, I didn't think she was unhappy. She wasn't drowning herself in her own sorrow either. She just didn't know what to do. That was what it seemed like to me. She used to have something to chase after. Her dream was bright and clear, and when she lost that, all that remained was a giant blank space. The sense of achievement when you accomplish something disappears in the blink of an eye, but the sense of defeat follows you forever. That's true. I see. I got up. She had lost everything, like a shell with nothing left in it. Yet it was because she had lost everything that I felt something was about to happen. Yeah, definitely. Somehow I believed I could see the end of this movie. The weather was great that Sunday. I squinted as the sun's relentless rays shone from above. You could feel the summer heat, but it was a perfect day for filming. The lighting was good, so I knew I could get some great shots today.
Tsutsumi senpai.
What? I suddenly heard her low voice and turned around. Hey, she's wearing the nice clothes. Wow.
何よ。
She was the one who arrived late, so why was I getting glared at? Well, she looked great today, so I was willing to let that slide.
文句でもあるの？
Nah, this is just the first time I've ever seen you in your normal clothes. They're nice, and they suit you. You're really cute. I quickly took out my camcorder and uttered honest words of praise.
よくそういうことをストレートに言えるわね。
Honesty is my greatest virtue. In all seriousness, you really do look cute. I almost want to put this video on the internet for the entire world to see.
そんなことしたら3枚におろして強火で焼いてやるからね。
Well, her tongue was as sharp as always. Hold on a second. Shindo, you seem somewhat upset today.
私の機嫌が悪いと先輩に不都合でもあるの？
I see. Is it that time of the month again? How rude.
爽やかな顔で言うことか、この野郎。
Whoa. Her unforgiving right jab almost got me.
避けるんじゃない。
Sorry, my bad. What kind of a reaction was that? Don't tell me I hit the nail on the head.
デリカシーのない男は大嫌いよ。
I'll remember that. Back when I was in the club, everyone, even the girls, were okay with talking about tactless things. But if I tried doing that with Kei, I'd start seeing my own blood.
まったく、日曜にまで付き合わされて、私ってば何してるのかしら。
It's important to film you in your normal clothes on the weekend, too.
それって完全に先輩だけの都合よね。
Well, it's raw footage, so you never know how much of it you'll actually use. In a way, it might be a waste of time.
あんたが笑うな。今日はどうするの？
We went downtown first. We didn't feel like taking the train somewhere far away in this damn heat, so we decided to hang around locally. I'm not doing anything, I'm just following you around.
つまり私の勝手にしていいってことね。それなら、夏物でも買いに行こうかな。
Shouldn't you buy those before summer starts?
うっさいわね。私の勝手でしょ。
Wait, so you really don't have any? She shouldn't be cheap like guys usually are.
本当にやかましいわね。去年までは毎日練習漬けだったから私服なんてほとんどいらなかったのよ。
I see. Shall I choose something cute for you then?
男の人に服選んでもらうほど私のセンスも終わってないわよ。
Sexism, even now. Well, I wasn't crazy enough to buy clothes for a girl who wasn't even my girlfriend, so whatever.
分かってると思うけど、お店の中ではカメラ禁止よ。
What if I do it stealthily with my camcorder hidden in my bag?
あんた
She glared at me as if she were looking at something filthy.
叩けば埃が出る体じゃないでしょうね。
You don't say.
なんで目をそらすのよ。
I had filmed in secret many times before, but that was all for the sake of making a movie. I'd never done any low-angle shots of girls or anything like that, so my conscience was clear. I think. Now, don't stand in front of the store. You're bothering people.
ほら、話はまだ終わってな。なんか違うわね。これもいまいち色が。
Ever since we stepped inside, she had been picking up shirts and mumbling about them. I didn't think it was possible, but she completely forgot I existed. Come to think of it, I wasn't filming right now, so there was no reason for me to be in here. She was disturbingly engrossed in her thoughts. She didn't even talk to the employees. If she didn't have a lot of clothes, that must have meant she didn't go shopping very often. Hey, Shindo-san.
なんだよ。
Seriously, why does she talk like a guy sometimes? I'm just saying, wouldn't you look good in anything? You have a nice figure.
ひらひらフリフリの服も似合うと思うの？
That's blasphemy towards the designer.
そこまで言われる筋合いもないわよ。
Wouldn't this be fitting?
話そらしたわね。
As she spoke, she took the Chinese dress I picked out. My selection was in desperation, but did I actually get it right?
本当に？
Yeah, that looks good. Huh?
これ本当に似合うと思う？
She looked a bit sad and unsatisfied. Maybe she actually cared quite a bit about clothing choices. You're unexpectedly similar to most girls, after all.
意外とってどういう意味よ？
I knew this would happen. You see, if you wear a Chinese dress, you look like someone who's trying to avenge their parents' death by learning kung fu from some mysterious old man.
どんなキャラよ、私は。
Then we could take the opportunity to drop the documentary and film a kung fu action movie.
何のついでだ。
I'm kidding, it was a joke. But seriously, it matches. It really does look cute. I think the designer of this dress made it with you in mind.
果てしなく疑わしいけど。まあいいわ。
I was a gentleman who would never lie to a girl, so what she said was a bit unexpected.
本当に似合うのね。
You don't have to be so skeptical.
いいえ、そうじゃなくて。鏡を見てたら思ったのよ。
Huh? What?
これ、私に似合うんなら、
Oh.
千尋にも似合うかなって。
That's so cute. Chihiro?
きっと、あの子に似合うわ。
She ignored what I said and looked at her own reflection in the mirror with a serious look on her face. Shindo, are you really okay with just that? The only thing she bought was the one dress I picked out. She didn't bother getting anything for herself.
当たり前でしょ？何着も買うお金なんてないわ。
But what about you?
いいのよ、私は。考えてみれば、めかし込む必要なんてないもの。
She was unusually calm as she drank her iced coffee. We came to a cafe to grab a light lunch. Now we were just talking while enjoying our drinks. So does that mean you don't have a part-time job?
前にちょっとファミレスでウェイトレスやってみたけど。
She looked down and refused to say anymore. She had a short fuse, so I could imagine what happened. Yeah, if you were to get a part-time job, you'd be a mercenary for hire or a bodyguard in some casino.
なんでそっち系なんだよ。
You've destroyed many people, you know that?
だからやってね。
Your recognition
Hey,
honors me.
Squid! Thank you so much for the resub. Good morning. How's it going? How many people have you killed?
たった今、あんたを一人目にすることに決めたわ。
I love their dynamic. It's hilarious. Standing does me today? Yes, standing today and last time as well because my back is complaining, so... Yeah, doing my best over here. The soles of my feet are also complaining, but between my back pain and the soles of my feet, I think the back pain wins, so yeah, we're doing this. I'm honored, but let's refrain from doing that. It was great how she took everything so seriously.
先輩
Looked like she was back to normal. I mean, I'm not super still. I keep moving from side to side. I also have my chair behind me, so once in a while I put half of a leg there, like so the leg is bent and resting on the chair, and the other one is on the floor. But obviously I can't maintain that position for long, so if you see me like moving from one side to the other, that's what I'm doing. I'm just moving around. Because I also can't just stand in the same exact position without moving an inch for extended periods of time. So yeah, I am moving. Yeah, and like having my leg bent like this and resting on the chair kind of relaxes my knee a bit, because yeah, it's putting a lot of strain on my knees and obviously the soles of my feet as well. But it's okay. It's much better than sitting. So I alternate in between, see what works better. I also try, like I was trying last week, stand during work and sit during stream. It's just that this week it's really been bad for my back, so I decided to also stand while streaming, and it's good. This strengthens your leg muscles in the process. Yeah, it's good. Overall, it's healthier than sitting all the time. Yeah. The only thing is that since I'm moving from one side to another so much, I keep like not being centered on the camera, so I keep checking it from time to time. Like when I do this, I'm just checking, am I centered? I'm centered. Okay, it's good. I can keep going. Looked like she was back to normal.
人にばっかり聞いてるけど、堤先輩はどうなのよ。
Me? I cross my arms and search my memory. To tell you the truth, I haven't really done any part-time work. My dad keeps saying, if you have time to work somewhere else, come help me.
先輩のお父さんって
He calls himself a freelance journalist. He's a complete idiot who would put himself in the middle of war or sneak into a country with no diplomatic ties just for the sake of news. I don't even know if he's sleeping at home right now or if he's laying low under a heavy gunfire trying to take a few shots.
すごいお父さんね。
Yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Somehow her impression changed. You know, it's thanks to an amazing father like him, that I was able to grow up into the honest person I am today. Sleepy time for oddly manifested? Yeah, no problem. Go rest. Thank you so much for dropping by. Have a lovely weekend, and hope to see you, next time you come by. Okay, I reread this.
堤先輩がまとも？どさくさに紛れてなんてずうずうしい。
Damn, that was harsh. If I were a masochist who was able to turn that attitude of hers into pleasure, I might have an easier time dealing with her.
ところで、先輩の…なんでもない。
I understood what she wanted to know, judging from the apologetic look on her face. You mean my mom? She died when I was a kid.
そう。
She looked sad.
鬼。ヒロの先輩と同じだ。
Yeah, that's one of the few things he and I have in common. Of course, we didn't talk about our mothers. We had both accepted the fact that they were gone. Family members will leave you sooner or later. They can disappear in an instant. He and I knew that perfectly. We left the cafe and began walking again. Hey, Shindo. I tried talking to the girl who always seemed to have a sour expression on her face. She was walking in this extreme heat, yet didn't seem tired at all. Well, she wasn't the star of the basketball team for nothing. Even then, she still had a lot of strength. I hope you don't mind me asking, but who is Chihiro?
カメラ回してよ。
Ooh. What?
忘れないでよ。私は撮影に協力してるだけ。個人的なことを普通に堤先輩に話すつもりはないわ。
Got it. She really was an old friend of Hiro's. She was a rebel in the strangest ways. I pointed my camcorder at her. Okay, once again. I had a vague feeling that the person named Chihiro was someone important to Kei. That was why I wanted to know about her. She was hesitating. Who's Chihiro? She drew in a small breath.
私と千尋は、私たちはいつも一緒だった。生まれた時からずっと。
Ever since you were born? Are you twins or something? Nailed it. She nodded and continued.
一卵性双生児ってやつね。一応私が姉だけど、顔も体つきもほとんど変わらないわ。ただ性格だけは正反対かも。
Oh, how mature is she?
ほっとけよ。
What, did I offend her?
真面目に話してるんだから余計なちゃちゃを入れないでよ。
She said that, then looked up at the sky. I turned my camera and followed her gaze. The summer sky was a clear blue. I wondered what she was thinking about.
でも千尋は今は私のそばにいないの。あの子がいてくれたらきっと何かが違ってたんでしょうけど。
Despite being twins, they were living separately, huh? Why aren't you two together?
私のことならともかく千尋の事情を勝手に話すわけにはいかないわ。
Oh, okay. Something must have happened between the two of them. I was curious, but there was no point in pressing the subject. But aren't you lonely?
分かりきったことは聞かないでよ。多分千尋も寂しがってる。プレゼントなんかであの子の寂しさは埋められないし、もちろん私も。だけど仕方のないことだわ。たとえ双子でも私たちは二人で一人なんかじゃない。いつかは離れなくちゃいけなかったんだもの。千尋は千尋で、私は私。自分の足だけで進まなきゃいけないんだから。たとえこの足が壊れかけてるとしても。
I heard a faint chuckle. There was a sort of understanding that didn't fit her age, and it made me uneasy for unexplainable reasons. It was rare to see her like this. I held my camcorder, unable to look away. No, maybe I couldn't see it if I didn't use my camcorder. She wore an extremely pained expression.
Huh?
What was that? I heard an ear-piercing shriek. A girl was running towards us.
あら、水木。
The girl named Mizuki nodded happily.
あんたも買い物？
恒例の買い出しに。
She held up a bag belonging to a bookstore not far from where we were. I didn't know her, but judging from appearances, those books definitely weren't for studying.
時に K 先輩。このビデオカメラを抱えた不審人物は何者ですか？
Missy, don't point at people.
ああ、これ？
Hey, come on. She ignored me and began giving a rough explanation. This certainly was a strange situation.
K 先輩の映画。
This girl was Mizuki Hayama. She was in her final year of the feeder school.
まあそういうことね。我ながらバカやってると思うけど。
いえ、というかですね。
Mizuki turned towards me.
では、そのカメラで K 先輩のお姿を。
Yeah, of course.
なんてこと。
She took a step back. Then she quickly regained her composure and looked at me with curiosity.
おいくらですか？
いきなり買い取ろうとするんじゃない。
Kei yelled at her, who had already taken out her wallet. I can't give you the master copy, but we can talk about duplicates.
あんたも何を商談に入ろうとしてるの？
It was just a joke. It's okay, I'll keep our promise. I didn't intend to let anyone see this without her permission first.
堤先輩の場合信用しきれないのよ。
売ってくれないんですか？
当たり前でしょ。
K 先輩のラブリームービー欲しかったのに。
Judging from her reaction, it seems that Mizuki hung out with Kei quite a lot.
まったくあんたはバカなこと考えないの。だっても禁止。
Even as she said those words, I knew that Kei was a kind person at heart. It was a kindness that she couldn't show me or any of her friends from school.
堤先輩、
Huh? What's up?
今日の撮影はおしまいにしましょう。私が決めてもいいのよね。
Yeah, we walked around the lock today.
じゃあ水木、あんたは時間ある？
もうありまくりです。
せっかくだから遊びましょうか。あんたとは普段なかなか会えないものね。
はーい、私も K 先輩に話したいことたくさんありますから。でもちょっと待ってください。
In direct contrast with Kei, Mizuki's expression darkened. Her eyes practically wrapped around her head. What is it? She got up close and glared at me.
私の K 先輩に変なことしないでくださいよ。
She didn't seem to be joking. I don't know if she's yours or not, but rest assured I don't touch my actresses. If my relationship with actresses were more than professional, filming could be negatively impacted. That was my way of thinking. Although this movie was special, I had no intent of changing my philosophy.
それ信じますよ。
Please do.
水木、何を話してるの？
いいえ、なんでもないっす。
She smiled cheerfully and went back to Kei's side.
行きましょう、K 先輩。
Ah, Shindo, hold on a second.
Huh?
I turned the camcorder towards her.
何よ。
You have a really nice expression right now.
何言ってるの？
You're not alone.
分かってるわよ。
I smiled and she quickly turned the other way. I didn't feel like filming the two girls leaving with their backs turned towards me. I felt slightly stupid from being left behind. Mizuki Hayama. A fairly cute, interesting girl. I wasn't interested in such noisy girls, though. I took out my cell phone from my pocket and looked at the caller ID. Such great timing. Yeah, she has impeccable timing, apparently. Aww, her dress is cute, though. The person who had ordered me to meet her so casually was already at the park when I arrived. She was calmly loitering around. Not like that was any different from usual. Sup?
ああ、やっと来た。
Why was she complaining? It wasn't like I had to come. Or maybe guys just never refused girls.
今日も暑いね。
Man, the sleeves! They're so cute. Sorry. Yeah, that's why I wanna go home right now.
そんなもやしっこじゃいけない。厳しい環境で自分を鍛えてこそ真の男だよ。
You're saying random things again, aren't you? And what she mean, true path of a man. So, why'd you call me out? She wasn't going to use me again, was she?
ね、
She nodded once.
ヒロ君の家に行こうと思ったんだけどね。電話入れたら夜になるまで来るなって言われて。
Ah, I bet he has another girl over. I looked down at the sudden source of pain. She had just stomped on my foot.
注意1秒、怪我一生。
My bad, but still. Don't attack me while smiling like that.
今、細かい作業中なんだって。仕方ないから、ちょっとツッツンに話し相手でもしてもらおうと思って。
She wasn't listening. My foot hurt like hell, but I didn't think there were any broken bones.
最近、原稿のクオリティどんどん上げてるんだよね。仕事しか見えてない感じ。
I mean, that was the whole point of him not going to school anymore, right? She looked a bit lonely.
これからはますます仕事量が増えるみたいだから、私でも毎日は会えないんだよね。
It was probably because his editor found out he quit school.
忙しすぎて大変なんだよ。この間なんか耳から変な液体が垂れてきたとか騒いでたし。
Take him to the doctor. I looked at her without thinking.
毎月締め切り前はもう全然寝る暇もないくらいだからね。
That sounds incredibly unhealthy. Sounds tough. It really was tragic, but he chose that path.
まあでも
It's his brain. Oh, oh no. I would really hope it's not his brain leaking through his ears.
原稿が上がったら上がったで、今度は私が寝かさないんだけどね。
Alright.
やだ
Maybe those are details we don't need to know? Great, now I won't be able to sleep. They grow back probably. Good one. If I learned too much about those two, it was going to put a really obscene image into my mind. Hiro was doing a pretty good job of putting up with this girl, who was far too unique. He was a pretty amazing guy in more ways than one. So he's doing well, huh?
仕事は順調すぎるくらいだよ。人気も上がってるしね。
Quitting school without any consultation was a bit reckless, but if he's satisfied with his life, I guess it all works out.
ふーん。
She looked a bit surprised and smiled.
ありがとう。ヒロ君にも伝えておくね。
No, seriously, just don't. What I said was way too corny.
そうなんだよね。ヒロ君は充実してるんだよ。でも
Her expression dimmed.
ヒロ君はね、ケイちゃんのことを心配してるんだよね。ケイちゃん、バスケまでやめちゃったし。
I don't think she's depressed. I'd be lying if I said she was worry-free, but I think she'll get over it. Hiro, basketball, her separate twin sister. Even though reality was harsh, she wasn't running from it.
でもまだ吹っ切ってないでしょ。
Who knows? I certainly didn't. I was dubious whether even Kei herself knew. Still, I don't think Hirono should worry. That's my take.
私はね、
Miyako smiled.
ちょっと驚いてるんだよ。ツッツンの撮影にケイちゃんがまだ付き合ってることに。
That girl doesn't like going back on her word, does she? She was fairly stubborn.
そうかな。前にね、ヒロ君が言ってた。ヒロ君が好きになる人間なら、ケイちゃんも好きになるって。ツッツンはヒロ君の数少ない友達じゃん。
What are you trying to say?
ケイちゃんはあれで案外ツッツンのこと気に入ってるのかもしれないってことだよ。
I don't know about that. She probably thought I was just some desperate guy who was trying to kill some time.
もしかするとこの撮影ってツッツンにもケイ
It's
ちゃん
not
にも
wrong.
いい機会なのかもね。
Opportunity? What do you mean?
にゃにゃにゃにゃ。
What the hell? Great. She totally lost her marbles. No matter how hard I tried, I could never understand what she said. I'd just pretend I had never heard anything. I sent a text message to Kay about tomorrow's filming plans. With that, I was done with my work for today. No, wait, I still had to study. I didn't want to end up saying I was too busy filming a movie to get into university. I don't really want to become a director. All I wanted to do was film. After I finished this short, unassuming film, I had to start hitting the books. Maybe I could continue filmmaking after I graduated from Ottawa Collegiate. But until then, there would be nothing for me to do. Also, what did Miyako want from me? She wanted to make peace with Kei for her sake and for Hiro's as well. Both of them probably felt guilty, but it wasn't my job to make that disappear. I couldn't do something like that anyway. I was just filming Kei, that's why I was with her. And that was fine by me. After school was over, I immediately headed towards Kei's classroom. The downside of filming was that I tended to drift apart from my friends. However, I didn't need such weak friendships in the first place. My beloved actress was standing in the hallway.
あれ 来たの？
I hath arrived.
どこの言葉よ、それは。
Was it just me, or did that sound a bit different from usual? It was like she didn't have the strength to snap back at me. Could it be you're tired?
今日は小テストが2つもあったのよ。ほんと、たまらないわ。
That's a disaster. Though she had physical strength, completing such a task would certainly be difficult for the mentally challenged kid. How was it?
聞くな。
Right. Her grades probably weren't all that stellar. I should offer to help her study someday. Though she'd most likely reject my offer. She seemed considerably drained. I guess we'll postpone the filming.
Huh?
She wouldn't be interesting in her current state. Just standing in front of the camcorder might be a hard task for her. We still had a lot left, so it was in my best interest to not tire her out early. Oh, I know. Let's break the ice.
打ち入り？よく年末とかにやってるキラドのお覚悟とかいうあれ？
Something like that. I slightly grimaced. Let's see. Have you seen any historic plays?
切り合いとか好きだから。
Ah, perfect. I nodded furiously. I wasn't positive, but this should make explaining things a lot easier. You see, when you break the ice, you're taking time to get to know each other. Before starting a project, all the staff get together and mingle.
やることは打ち上げと同じなのね。
Yeah, that's it. We had to do this in the film club. The lead actors and actresses invited the supporting cast from the theater club. Members of the light music club would even play for us. So when we do student films, it ends up being interpersonal. It's like an old tradition. That's what breaking the ice means.
へえ。具体的に何をするの？
I scratched my head and tried to remember. Karaoke, bowling, billiards. We've gone to the amusement park as well. If we didn't have the budget, we'd just have a party in the club room. Oh, it was fun when we all went to that mixed hot spring. Wanna go?
行くか。
No bathing suit, okay? You have to be completely naked.
なお悪いわ。
Looked like she really didn't want to. Going to a hot spring would have been a nice detour at least. Anyway, let's brainstorm. How about going downtown?
それでいいわ。
But if you think up anything weird, I'll kill you. The look in her eyes told me that. Frightening, truly terrifying. Alright, so they're downtown, but I think I will save and leave it here for tonight because I am kind of drained and I want to enjoy this properly. So we're gonna mark this at the end as the end of the 5th stream. And yeah. There we go. Boom. Ah, click that wrong overlay again. Jeez. I should just reorder them so I don't have that one around. Since I don't really use it. I actually made it for when I was waiting in queue to enter Overwatch, because sometimes when events or big updates dropped, the Battle.net launcher would just get swamped with people logging into the game. And it would be like, oh, in queue. I don't know how many thousand players ahead of you or something like that. So I made it for that purpose, but I barely use it these days. But it's right in between this one and the overlay for the visual novel, so sorry, misclick. Alrighty, thank you guys for being there. I hope you're enjoying this. I find it a much more enjoyable story than Miyako's and Heroes. Sorry, it's the one I like to the least out of all of them. But it's exciting to me, and I also kind of see it with a bit of a, I don't know, a different perspective now. Because on the one hand, I kind of like and enjoy Kei a lot more than I did when I first watched the anime. For some reason. I guess it's like the wisdom of life that has brought me to this point. Because like, she is a proper teenager, but she is tough and also a lot more reasonable than the other teenagers around her. So It's a breath of fresh air. Yay! I think it's good. And also I kind of connect in a way with Kyosuke's goal, because I myself, I mean, it's just a hobby, but I do understand editing something, because I edit AMVs as well. So from that perspective, I connect with him, and also with the desire to have people see it and feel something, because I've experienced the lovely thing of having the thing that you worked on being projected on a big screen in the front of like an entire room of people. And so yeah, I can kind of I get in there. You think the story is kind of boring? Sorry. It is what it is. Been busy and haven't been by as much. Don't worry, Squid, no problem. Good luck with all your stuff. I believe in you. And also the weekend is approaching, so hang in there. Hang in there. Also for me, there's just one day left until the weekend. You want me to raid someone? I haven't really been hosting people after stream because, yeah, I don't really know. Is there anyone here who's streaming that I know of? No, unfortunately, all of the streamers that I see are online right now are like kind of big streamers and stuff. I do not host big streamers because that's kind of embarrassing. So, sorry, Clinton. I don't have any recommendations at the moment. Also in Romania it's quite late, so yeah. It is what it is. Hope you find something else to keep you company. Yeah. Thank you for the enthusiasm, guys, though. The stuff being small sometimes, it's okay. I very much enjoy the perks of being a small streamer, and the biggest perk, sorry, is having a tightly knit and comfy and intimate chat like you guys, right? Because when it's too much, you can't really follow, and like there's people talking amongst themselves, and the streamer picks up like a message here and there, but that's it. Like the context of the conversation is kind of lost. So not that I am bashing that in any way. It's just another way of doing it. It was never really my goal though, because I started streaming just to connect with people. So that's what I'm doing, and it's cool. And yeah, that's why I also consider you my friends, because I feel like we're bonding over these lovely stories that we are experiencing together. And that is nice. Right, so that will be that for tonight. I thank you again for being there with me, and I will see you next Tuesday. I think I've been thinking about it, and I've decided that until I'm done with this really sucky period at work and the things that I have to do, I will not be looking into starting another game. So I just want stream to be like this like refuge thing where like, okay, finally everything is done and I have 2 hours tonight to just enjoy a lovely story with my lovely chat, and that's gonna be it for a while. Maybe once things calm down at work, I can start some other Zelda title or something. That would be cool. But until then, we'll just do this. And F is panning out to be quite enjoyable so far, at least for me. I'm glad to be seeing the story through this lens as well. It's quite different from as an experience from the anime. So I'm happy about that. And we'll keep doing it. Until next time then, have a great weekend, take care of yourselves, and see you when I see you.